Hinge is the best dating app right now, and it's not even close. It is by far the best, but there is a big problem with it. Pretty much nobody talks about. So this Stanford-led study shows how dominant dating apps have become, and it's still growing too. Like it is the default way that people meet. And when you combine this with the fact that one company owns pretty much all of them, Match Group, they own Match, they own OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, Tinder, and about like 30 others, you're left with a big problem because if you get banned from one, you get banned from all of them. And it doesn't have to be something extreme either. If you just delete your account and recreate it a few times, they see that as you trying to game it for the new account boost and they'll ban your ass. And if you're single right now, like there's a strong chance, a very strong chance that you will meet your future wife or your future husband through this. Like that's a pretty big thing that they're taking away. Now, to be fair, there are a lot of toxic people on these apps, 100%, on both sides. But I know a lot of guys can't handle rejection, especially the younger types, bit emotional still. They'll send something hateful. And the system works, I think, primarily by reports. Like it just gets automated. You just happen to upset some people, they'll report you. And then now there's a new thing where if you go into the settings, you can see people that you previously chatted with in case like somebody sent some bad message and then unmatched so they wouldn't be able to access them again. But no, like you can't get away with that, which is a good thing if you were being toxic. But really like the issue is there's no warning system. There's no strikes. And like it's just a big thing that they're taking away. And yeah, you can still do cold approach. I know that's almost always going to be the reaction that people say, oh, you can still cold approach, but that's a very, very difficult thing to do. That is really, really hard. I had success with it. My last relationship came from it. The relationship didn't work, but that had nothing to do with it. But it's hard. Like you can't expect that, and it's also just a huge time commitment. If you want to get good at cold approach, you got to put a lot of time into it. You have to, I know a lot of guys will get outfits for it. Go to the mall for a couple hours and then they'll like analyze and overthink and blah, blah, blah. And it's just dating apps are a lot easier, even though they're still hard, but like you can hit the scale. You can put up like 10 minutes a day, even with a shitty profile with enough time will eventually get attention. And by the way, Hinge says that they retain your data for up to 2 years after a ban. I honestly haven't heard of any people getting their account back after that. So if you have, that'd be really useful to know. And I know some people will try to get around it by creating a new account. Sometimes that seems to work, but when you download their data and you request it, you go to the settings at the bottom, you have an option to download your data. They'll send you a file and you can see how much they actually track. So opening up my own file, you can see how they have your IP address, your account you've logged in from, your exact GPS coordinates, carrier, email, phone number, home address, payment info. They even have a folder of every single picture that you've uploaded. So you'll have to get whole new ones. Like it is possible to get around, but they've clearly made it very, very difficult. And yeah, I mean, again, I get why they do this. They got to protect their ass. There's lots of scammers, a lot of harassment. It's very high. The system has trade-offs, so be careful with it. Just a PSA, because a single misstep can make your dating life a lot harder. And a quick side note, if your account is being suppressed instead, where you don't actually have a ban, take a break for 3 months, delete your account, wait 3 months. They save themselves. They delete it after that time. And yeah, pretty much Bumble is the only one that isn't owned by Match Group. So I'm always like wanting them to do better, but I would say it's the second best app, but there's a huge drop off. And yeah, they had a ton of layoffs last year. I don't think they're going to, we need a new app that comes in and shakes things up. But that's the thing, like Match Group will just buy them. That's what they did with Hinge. Even though Tinder was the dominant app, they were allowed to buy it. But anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you guys again in a few days.